And thank you, Jason, for chairing the final session. So all that remains is for us to make some concluding remarks. I will just bring up a few things on the screen in the meantime. You might not be surprised to know I have a few advertisements and notices. So this is the conference that we've just concluded, Cryptoeconomic Systems 2020. I just wanted to give a little bit of a background to the journey of the conference. It won't take any more than a couple of minutes of your time. So I started working between the MIT Press and the MIT Digital Currency Initiative about 10 months ago, and we pretty much started planning the process which led to this conference right away. So we started by assembling a peer review program committee, which was 42 members across all kinds of disciplines. We put out a call for papers. We got 80 submissions from there. We then engaged in this kind of experiment in interdisciplinary and open peer review, which the outcome of which was to select 26 papers from those 80 for the conference, and a subset of those papers will be were also accepted for the upcoming journal. So 9 of those papers were also accepted for the journal, and other ones were given opportunities to work with the editors to build perspectives type op-eds. Others were invited to resubmit, and yes, we have another call for papers, which is for the journal specifically, which opens in a week's time. I'm sorry, I made it open on Sunday. I don't know why I did that. I wasn't thinking straight. So it opens in a week's time, and it closes at the end of May. So please, everyone here at home, people that see this later on YouTube, consider it as a venue for your work. The more papers we get in, the stronger the venue will become, and I think that's probably for the benefit of everybody in this room, everybody watching at home, as we try to, build the big tent and bring all of these disciplines together. So one other thing I would like to say is that we are looking for host organizations for Cryptoeconomic Systems 2021 for our flagship peer-reviewed conference. We would very much like to do this outside of North America next year. We've got strong expressions of interest from some European universities, and I'm very keen to see that for selfish reasons. That's a shorter journey for me. So I would very much like to hear from anybody that's interested in holding either a peer-reviewed conference of this kind of size, or maybe perhaps a smaller, more focused summit or symposium. We're open to collaborations. We have actually some collaborations upcoming, which we'll be announcing of that kind in due course. Okay, so let's do some thank yous. I would like to thank our very kind, gracious, generous, handsome and fragrant sponsors, collaborators and partners. They include our platinum sponsors, the Web3 Foundation, Calibra, our silver sponsor, Law, another silver sponsor, Usenix, the computing association that we present this conference in cooperation with, the MIT Press and the Digital Currency Initiative for initiating this whole project, without which we wouldn't be here, and the MIT Bitcoin Expo for providing the logistical muscle and elbow grease, and for working with us in the dying hours of the 11th hour of the planning as we worked to have the rug from underneath our feet unremoved. I think that is bad English, sorry about that. So I've told you about the conference journey, I've told you about the upcoming announcements. I think you may not have heard that most of Boston Blockchain Week has been cancelled. However, there is an event tomorrow lunchtime held by Polkadot, and you can see that on the pinned tweet on the Cryptoeconomic Systems Twitter. That starts at midday, and so you do need to register in advance if you want to come to that, but we'd like to see you there. I'll be there, so if you want to hang out with me, that's where I'll be, and that's tomorrow lunchtime. And so now all that remains is to do some thank yous. So I would like to thank some of the colleagues that I've been working with, that we've all been working with very closely on this. This is a team effort. You might have seen me shouting my mouth off and wandering around a lot, but it's not just me. This is a big team effort. Lots of people working behind the scenes. Special thank you to Ashley Jacobson, my colleague at the Digital Currency Initiative, who has done an incredible amount of administrative work behind the scenes, often for no thanks at all. Ashley is out at the back there, so please give her a round of applause. I would also like to thank the 2 editors-in-chief of the Cryptoeconomic Systems Journal, Neha Narula and Andrew Miller, for being great guides to me as I learned how to transform from being a kind of lone independent researcher into sort of I don't know, some kind of walking Schelling point for this new field or whatever the hell I'm doing. I'd like to thank all of the members of the peer review program committee. There's 42 of them. Some of them have been at the conference. Some of them have been joining remotely. Some of them weren't able to join us. They did an incredible job under very difficult circumstances reviewing these papers in a sort of truncated period over Christmas and New Year. So we're incredibly grateful to them for doing what is a very underappreciated aspect of scholarly service. We also have an advisory board which gave us a great deal of guidance in the early stages of formulating the journal, and we still rely on their expertise and wisdom. I'd like to thank all the authors that submitted papers to the journal, and I'd like to encourage any of you that are considering to submit to the next call for papers to go and speak to one of the authors that is here today and ask them about their experiences. And although that may be biased because the ones that are here are the ones that had their papers accepted. But anyway. And last but not least, all of the speakers that managed to make it here under these extremely difficult circumstances, and all of the speakers that couldn't be here but still participated remotely. We were anticipating all 26 of the speakers to be present and here in Cambridge with us. In the end, we had 17 of the 26. And I think that's really not that bad given the situation. I don't know of any other events upcoming that haven't been cancelled. So still kind of can't believe that we're here. And I think that's pretty much it from my announcements. So yes, just to say thank you to all of you and to everybody at home. And I'll hand over to Neha.
Thank you, Wassim. So first of all, I want to thank you all for coming here and for being here for this experiment. We absolutely, definitely could not have done this without Wassim, who's the managing editor of this journal and put together 2 events. So huge thank you to Wassim, who's made all of this happen. There's just one last point that I'd like to make, which is though we started this here at MIT, and I think the journal will continue to live at MIT Press, this is something that we want to push out into the world. Hopefully turn this into a recurring event and a place, a one-stop place where people who want to really understand the cutting edge and what is really accepted by the community and understood by the community, a place where they can go. And that involves all of us. And so we're really excited about this, about who might host this event next, and the next round of the journal. So if you're interested, please get in touch. And we look forward to continuing this and to pushing it out into the community. Thank you.